get your reaction, or at least an update after that fire that engulfed much of a residential complex in Midrand. We're told several people have been injured. Let's bring in now Johannesburg Emergency Services spokesperson Xolile Khumalo, who's with us via our telephone line this morning. Xolile, I know you've been giving updates to several media houses since the fire broke out, so we appreciate your time on the SABC News channel. It's been almost 12 hours since that blaze actually engulfed much of the building. I wonder if you have any signs of yet around what happened.
Right now, good morning, Mr. Nyati. Thank you for the invitation to your show. Right now, the EMS inspectors are on the fire incident in conducting investigation because the cause is not yet known as to what led to this massive fire.
Yeah, and you know, we don't often hear of residential areas where I think there's upwards of 100 units being engulfed in flames. What time
at the same time.
Right, at the same time, exactly. It also has raised questions around, you know, what time any kind of response was able to be given once people knew that the fire was actually active.
Responses in terms of firefighters responding to the fire itself.
Correct. Do you know of how long it took, essentially, since the fire started till the first responders were able to be at the scene?
Sure, right now I didn't go through the records myself, but we've got at least 4 or 3 fire stations that are really close to the complex. We've got Midrand Fire Station, which is literally less than 5 minutes away. The response was quite good. We had at least 5 fire engines on scene almost immediately, but the fire itself was just out of control. It could not be, like the walls could not contain it. It was just out of hand. But the firefighters did manage to douse it very quickly.
Okay. That fire started late at night, so I imagine it was a bit difficult to kind of take stock of the extent of the damage, at least from what you're able to see. Are you able to take our viewers, at least at this time, how damaged the building actually is?
Not at the complex itself, but the second floor of the complex was completely gutted all around. The second floor, it wasn't damaged that badly, and the ground floor where they keep their vehicles was not touched at all. Right.
We know there are no fatalities. Perhaps you can give us an update on that if the situation has changed, but some people were wounded. Can you give us an update on how they're doing?
So fatalities up to this point, none has been reported. On record, we only have 1 patient that was transported to a nearby hospital. Other than that, we don't have any further injuries, which is like a miracle, really, considering the nature of this fire.
Absolutely, because most people probably were asleep at the time when the fire actually started. What's your sense around when or if those who live in that building will be able to go back?
Not right now. We are just waiting for fire inspectors to conclude their investigations. SABC K9 was supposed to come in as well this morning to just ensure that there is no one stuck under the rubble. So after then, maybe they can. But right now, the entire place is cordoned off due to investigations.
Yeah. Sadly, in Johannesburg, we've become accustomed to specifically abandoned buildings going up in flames. But have you come across an incident like this before, Xolile, where a building which presumably is, you know, occupied legally has gone up in flames like this?
Myself, I have not. It was quite, a sight to observe last night. I haven't seen anything like this, because you would have at least 1 section of the complex burning, but this one just went on up in flames.
Sure. Still so many unanswered questions. Xolile Khumalo, thanks for speaking to us. Hopefully we'll be able to touch base with you sometime during the day when we're able to ascertain a bit more details around what might have taken place here. Xolile Khumalo is the spokesperson for Johannesburg Emergency Services. Thanks very much indeed.